What's up, Warzone Sports Army? Welcome to the newest episode of Mike's Film Room, and today we're going to be talking about the king himself, Derrick Henry. I put together some of the better runs from his 2021 campaign so far. We're just going to hop on here and admire the game's best running back at the very moment, and really take a deeper look at just how the Tennessee Titans rushing offense is handling loaded boxes with ease. Derrick Henry is hitting a stride and getting to a point now where you can start talking about him as possibly an all-time great, let alone being one of the best running backs in the game today. So I'm pumped to get into this film study. But first, help me out. It'll take you 2 seconds to do it. Smash the like button, because that's going to help us boost up in the algorithm. And then head over to the subscription button. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. Turn on notifications so you're alerted every time that we post a new video or go live on this channel, which is 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day here on the Warzone Sports Network YouTube channel. The first ever sports network built for fans, entirely of fans like myself. And without further ado, let's get into the film study of the king himself, Derrick Henry.
I gave you fair warning, beware, beware. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware, beware. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware, beware. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware, beware. I'll smack him in the mouth.
Alright, here we go. We got the tape set up. I've got a couple plays here of Derrick Henry's best run so far this season. We're starting off with a bang here. This is a 76-yard touchdown call against the Buffalo Bills in a game where the Titans came out and punched the Bills in the mouth and kind of shocked the world a little bit. I'm not going to talk too much about run scheme or any of that kind of stuff. If you guys want to look up run scheme videos, go look for film studies of the Browns offense, film studies of the 49ers offense, film studies of the Tennessee Titans offense. There's a lot of unique run blocking schemes and different ways that they get their running backs on the move and holes for them to run through. I personally did a film study on the Browns before the season started. I'll put it in the end screen. You can go to the playlist that this video is attached to, and you can view that video if you'd like to check out the Browns running game, the Browns running attack. I'm going to talk more about Derrick Henry than anything. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about blocking schemes, but for the most part, when we talk about Derrick Henry, I'm kind of just admiring what he does with the football, especially when defenders are trying to bring him to the ground, how he keeps chugging along. So he actually ends up taking this up the left sideline, but this play is designed to go through the 6-hole right off the tackle on the right side of the line. And this is really where Derrick Henry's vision comes in as a running back. He's really tied it all together. He's put together speed with power, with agility, with vision, with IQ, and have really made a Madden character, creator running back, real life human being. Derrick Henry is an absolute monster of a running back. And check out off the handoff. He has a decision to make, obviously. And the decision here is try and break it outside and beat this DB, I'll circle him, or cut back inside and enter this empty space. And now you got the two safeties, but of course the receivers are coming up to block as well. But Derrick Henry makes the right decision here, and he goes towards the inside where there's a lot more room for him to work with, essentially taking that guy on the right side that he would have to have beaten out of the play. And you see when he does make that decision, he makes it quick and he just hits the hole and never looks back. Splits the safeties and he's absolutely gone, just like that. Beat your chest. And this is something that impresses me most about Derrick Henry, and every part of Derrick Henry's game is impressive, but it's the fact that he possesses this breakaway speed with the size and power that he also possesses. I mean, right here he's in this little pile. You can't see him because he's covered up by two guys who are trying to tackle him from behind and another guy who is partially being blocked. And from this point forward, and he has the two safeties up here. Keep your eye on these two safeties as well. Derrick Henry is fast enough to split these safeties and break it up. And then once he does get by them, like in this position right here, a slower running back is going to get tackled by one of those DBs. They're just going to get chased down. Derrick Henry has breakaway speed. And he's gone. Once he's gone, he's gone. He is increasing distance from these defensive backs. Those long strides. Here's another zone blocking scheme. You're going to see all of the offensive linemen block left, allowing Derrick Henry to have a wall to run behind to the right side. And Derrick Henry, again, displays a little bit of speed here on this play, a little bit more agility on this play to hit that hole once he sees it open up and hit it with some aggression. Boom. Makes his cut and he is running. This moment right here, if you're this safety, I think that's probably Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer. If you're this guy, this is the nightmares that you have the night before the game, because there's many moments in the game that the Tennessee Titans offense put safeties and linebackers and cornerbacks in this very situation. Mano y mano, Derrick Henry, the monster 2,000-yard running back versus a DB or versus a linebacker or versus anyone on the field, but really it's usually the safety or the linebackers. And give Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer, whoever it was in this play, credit. He did step up and make the tackle and bring Derrick Henry to the ground. Had to take a truck stick while doing it, but nonetheless kept this from being a touchdown because that was the last man for Derrick Henry to beat. And Derrick Henry's intentions were to run through him. This sweep play is beautiful. You're going to see Ryan Tannehill turn around, pitch it to the left to Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry displays a little bit of patience to let his blockers get downfield. You'll see him come off kind of lackadaisical, and then once he sees that the hole opens up, he bolts and ends up getting all the way down to the 1-yard line on this play. Check it out. You see him slow playing it there, and then once he sees these holes, once he sees these blockers get to their positions, he turns into another gear and gets upfield and almost gets into the end zone. I see this happening a lot with linebackers in the league, and a lot specifically with CJ Mosley in the little bit of film studies I've done and watched and seen some CJ Mosley on the defensive side of the ball. Linebackers got to be more aggressive than this, especially when you know you're playing Derrick Henry. CJ Mosley kind of shuffling to the right here, and now he's in a position where he can easily be blocked. Once you see Derrick Henry's catching that sweep, you need to be aggressive. You need to come off this block. You need to not slide. You don't need to shuffle. You need to break towards the running back. Right when you see Tannehill start to turn, you're already reading run here, and you see that ball get pitched. CJ Mosley needs to waste no time. He needs to come flying downhill in a hurry and either wipe out one of these lead blockers or go and try and make the tackle on the running back. But instead, you're going to see him do this interesting side shuffle, and you cannot do this against Derrick Henry because if they get blockers on you, these DBs, these safeties are going to have to make the tackle, and they're not going to be able to make the tackle on this guy. It's a lot of the problems with the Chargers run game right now, and it's why it upsets me so much is the linebackers are shuffling and they're not being aggressive when they read, run, or pass. I'm okay with you making a mistake if you're playing at full speed. That's okay if you make a mistake and read the wrong read and bite on the play action a little bit too much. But I'd rather you make that mistake playing at full speed and going as hard as you can than to be second-guessing yourself and side shuffling and not really being in pass coverage or in run defense. Here's another sweep play. This one's going to be to the other side of the field, and the Titans like getting Derrick Henry out in space with the receivers and a tackle or a guard pulling and blocking for him in these situations. And you're going to see him execute it perfectly right here. And Derrick Henry really shows next-level stuff when it comes to his elusiveness with the ball, for his size especially. You're going to see him make multiple tacklers miss off of some jukes, and he doesn't do like a jump cut or anything like that. It's very smart, and you could tell someone definitely sat and analyzed his game and thought of the most efficient way for him to run and still be elusive, still be fast, but also use his size and power to his advantage. And that is to just do these single breaks, these single cuts. You see a lot of running backs shake their head or do a full breakdown and then juke you out. The famous jump cut that LT used to run that a lot of running backs use in the league. Kareem Hunt uses it a lot. That jump cut where you jump up in the air and you aggressively snap the other direction. No, Derrick Henry's is real smooth. It's almost like he's running a route more than running with the football. Boom, one cut. And you see him, he's making guys miss sideline to sideline here. He probably ran 35 yards in that play before he got shoelace tackled. And again, this scenario right here, you see these linebackers over here getting clogged up with the offensive lineman, 10 yards down the field from where the line of scrimmage was. That's just not what you want to do, and you're not ever going to beat Derrick Henry if you've got a free blocker 10 yards down the field and Derrick Henry following them like this. It just isn't going to happen. And of course, it is the New York Jets. Their defense has been better than in previous years, but still not great. Just gave up 50 points to the Patriots. But you just can't do this against a guy like Derrick Henry, because when he's got the ball in his hands, he does special things, especially when he's going against guys that are half his size in the secondary. Here's one of Henry's touchdown runs. I believe it's a 9 or 10 yard touchdown run. And you're going to see, again, the linebackers just taking too long to read this. But the reason that I wanted to bring this up, because there is 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen. 1, 2, 3, 4 players lined up inside the box as linebackers. One guy who is just outside the box as a safety. And then you have a safety who is not in the box, but is definitely back there with the intention of helping out in the run game. And then even this corner is close enough to get involved in this play if he makes the read that it's a run soon enough, or if his teammates make the read and are shouting run as they're taught to do, hopefully, to alert the rest of the defense that it is a run. Especially when you're playing Derrick Henry, those run pass calls should be important. But you're going to see off the snap of the ball, watch this entire row of linebackers and tell me which one of them is being aggressive when they read run and trying to come downhill and not allow these blockers to get upfield. We'll give them one more second because this ball could be a play action still technically. The answer is none. The answer is none. This guy is still even just standing here, and Derrick Henry's already taken a few steps with the football in his hands. This linebacker in the middle is about to get blocked. There's another guy getting blocked here. I assume that's a defensive tackle. And this linebacker is about to get blocked by another offensive lineman, and he almost looks like he's retreating backwards. I believe this is a safety here, but he's in the linebacker's position or in the box to help out with the run. He's being washed out, and this guy over here is getting blocked and pushed back by a wide receiver. The only person that is pursuing Derrick Henry right now is the free safety on this play. And when the Tennessee Titans get your free safety in a one-on-one situation, especially on the goal line versus Derrick Henry, I bet you can guess what's going to happen. He didn't even try, but he's going to score a touchdown. This is one where the coach needs to ask some questions. Look at this safety who is in position to step in front of Henry and try and prevent him from scoring, maybe stop him at the 1, probably get ran over. I mean, let's be honest, but you got to put in some effort here. Look at what he does instead. I'll just let him go by. But can you blame him? We saw what Henry's been doing to players. It's either you're about it or you're not. Here's another one against the Jags later on in the game, and it's going to be another touchdown run for Henry, but you can tell that someone got into the linebacker's ears on the sideline, because watch the difference between the last play off the snap of the ball and this play. Immediately, once they read run, those guys took off and started flying. But of course, the offensive line blocks it up real well. They pick up the 2 guys, and when Derrick Henry has space, you know Derrick Henry's going to find the right hole to go through. So this lane is here for him to follow his 2 blockers and then fall just right through this lane, and he knows he's going to be going against a cornerback and a safety possibly if he just runs it right up this lane right here, and sure enough, you see him do it. And he gets that matchup versus both a cornerback and a safety. Does not matter. Derrick Henry's getting in regardless. He's that good. But really on this play, you see it all come together. This is a designed counter. You see the patience and the IQ combined with a little bit of agility and speed, and then the power to finish off the run in the end zone. This is also another little sneaky power that Derrick Henry has. Once you got teams selling out to try and stop him on the ground, you can install these little screen plays and get him out in space up the sideline. The Titans execute it perfectly on this play. You're going to see the linemen come out and act as lead blockers for Derrick Henry on this play, along with this wide receiver at the bottom of the screen. And it works as a little bit of a play action that turns into a screen, perfectly executed by Ryan Tannehill. And now you got Derrick Henry coming downhill at defensive backs outside. And usually that's going to result in Derrick Henry winning. And not just winning, but in this scenario, just absolutely truck sticking a young man. I'm sorry, Colts fans. And like I was saying, when you got an entire defense selling out just to stop one guy, you can start inventing, you can start getting creative and adding trick plays to the playbook. And I just love this to death. Seeing Derrick Henry throw a touchdown pass here. Yes, you heard me right. He's going to throw a touchdown pass on this play. It's supposed to be kind of like a dive here, a dive fake. And then he just jumps up and throws the pop pass, a little Tim Tebow style, little Daniel Tomlinson style pop pass by the running back here out of the Wildcat formation. And of course, no one guards the tight end because you're all sold out on the run at that point. And it's well drawn up to look like a zone blocking scheme. So that way you don't get the penalty of having a lineman downfield, but you still disguise it well. Overall, Derrick Henry is an absolute monster, man. And everyone keeps saying that he's going to regress. He's going to regress. He's going to regress. And he just continues to dominate and get better. You see that he's a lot more balanced, and he's a lot harder to bring down than in previous years. And I say years before last year. I'm talking about last year and this year. And that just goes to show the hard work he puts in the weight room and everything. Because there's been players that are born with freakish size and freakish speed at their position, but they don't put in the work to work on the rest of their game, also to stay healthy. You know, Derrick Henry has to have a really good and clean lifestyle to stay as healthy as he stayed in his career. Knock on wood, hopefully that continues. I think Derrick Henry's got a couple more years of this dominance left in the tank, so sit back, buckle your seatbelts, and enjoy the ride. And maybe we'll even be talking about Derrick Henry amongst the all-time greats when it's all said and done. Thanks for tuning in this week. Might be a little bit of a shorter episode because we were looking at a running back and a running game, and it was a lot of fun to check out Derrick Henry from the bird's eye view, and I admire him even more after this film study. I appreciate you guys tuning in. One more reminder to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It helps us out a ton. One more reminder that we're going to have 15 shows this week. I say it on every single episode I appear on. You guys are probably tired of me saying it, but we really do. We really are trying to take this sports network to the next level, so please hop on board with that subscription, with notifications on. If you want some of the merch, like the merch that I'm wearing right now, or that shirt, or other shirts, and coffee mugs and stickers and all that, head to www.warzonesportsnetwork.com. Once again, warzonesportsnetwork.com. We got merch up there. If you want to play along, Prize Picks is giving us a promo code Warzone. Prize Picks is an app where you can go in and bet over-unders or pick over-unders. And if you get them right, or if you get 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 right, it changes your multiplier and you win some moolah. Use code Warzone with your initial deposit. They're going to double it up to $100. So if you put in 50, you'll have 100 to play with. You got to take advantage of this deal while it's here. We're always talking about our Prize Picks, so if you want to copy ours, you can copy ours. I've been very good lately, especially with Prize Picks, so hopefully my luck continues. See you guys tonight on the Thursday Night Football stream. I'm Mike, and I'm just a former decent high school football player turned fan on the mic. This is me saying until next week.
I gave you fair warning, beware, beware. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware.